Welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by Mary Ellen Saganovich, Melissa Banks, and Darius Ewing. Today we are discussing a message from my book by the same name, Words I Choose to Live By. You all see it there. Probably see it everywhere. It's in front of me, it's behind me. But today we're going to be discussing message number 22 from my book. So as you all know, what we've been doing is we've been going week by week in my book, discussing the different themes of the week, giving different perspectives here. First of all, before we connect with Amazon, how's everybody doing?
Good, great.
Doing wonderful.
Great.
Darius, glad to have you back on with us, man. You know that parable says the prodigal son will return. We never know when. but,
You see?
we just keep looking down the road, and there he is.
Yeah.
And we welcome him.
Yeah.
We found him. Our son is told he was lost, but he is found. I have to get all the craziness out there before I connect with Amazon. I got to be professional over there.
Okay, then. Okay.
Have to get all of it out, before I connect. We're going to go ahead and connect with Amazon and get started with today's program.
Okay.
And you all are watching Words I Choose to Live By here on Amazon Live. Glad you all could join us. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by Mary Ellen Saganovich, Melissa Banks, and Darius Ewing. There he is. We lost him there for a second. He just came back.
Yeah.
We lost him for a second. I think he was having second thoughts, y'all. But we're excited to have all of our hosts for today's program. If you guys are new to us here on Amazon Live, we welcome you. Feel free to be able to follow us if you are not already. You'll find the follow button below us. Also, you will see the books from all of our co-hosts. Not only are they my co-hosts, they also are authors themselves. Would love for you to support their books. What we do every week here on Amazon Live is we discuss a different week from my book. This week, we're already now up to week number 20. Did I say that right? Was it week 22?
22.
Yeah, week 22. 22 this week. It's going by so. First of all, can you all believe we've been doing this for 22 weeks already? That is
Unbelievable.
that's something.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting message today. It's short, sweet, and to the point. It says you have the power, and for those who have the print edition of the book, it's found on page 64. But the message says never underestimate your power to make your wildest dream a reality. And I think for myself, I struggle with this, and people may be surprised with this. I struggle with, I'm a person of faith, right? And I know that God can do anything and everything. But when anything and everything happens to me, it always surprises me. Because it's like, how did this happen? You pray for something, and then when it happens, it's like, wow, this really works. This really happened. So for myself, I have to remember that if, we all have read the scripture, you have not because you ask not, right? But for myself, when I was writing this particular message, and some of these I actually remember because, again, this book was written first for myself. It was written as a conversation with myself. I knew it would be a lot more sane than talking to myself like I normally do throughout the day out loud. So I wrote these messages for myself so I can then, if I'm reading it, it's not going to sound as crazy. But never underestimate your power to make your wildest dream a reality. And every day, honestly, I live that. Every day I tell people I wake up knowing anything and everything can happen. Typically it does. So, Mary Ellen, I want to ask you, what has that message been like for you to realize that every day could be just the day that you've been waiting on?
Well, it's extremely powerful to know that, with your faith in God and with your faith in the universe, whatever you want to call it, that you can create health. You can create whatever you want, whatever dream you have. No dream is too small. No dream is too big. And you can start a dream at any age. I know when I was thinking back on this throughout the week, Cyrus, and, I don't think I thought I had any power when I was a kid. I mean, I was always sick. I was going from bronchitis to pneumonia to flu to whatever. And I was always told that I was very sickly. And so I didn't think I had any power. Now, in growing up and being on my own, you use that, the Lord gives you that power to stand on your own, to strengthen yourself, to have a dream and to make it into a reality. And I know that I never thought that I would be a writer. And of course, I'd never thought that I would be a speaker since I had a speech impediment growing up. And I was always going to speech teachers and always being laughed at by the kids. So it was always something that I thought, no, I don't want to do that. Yet, as I taught school, and that's being up in front of the class, and that's speaking, because I wasn't a teacher that sat at the desk. I walked around. I did a whole lot of hands-on things. And so your dream, my dream, I know, is in alignment with my passion and my purpose and my plan. And I tell my clients, your dream, have it in alignment with the 3 Ps. Your passion, because when you're in alignment with your passion, you'll keep it going. You'll keep it forging ahead. When you have it in alignment with your purpose, what God wants you here to do, what God has put you here on this planet to do, and then make a plan to make this dream come into reality, and not just make the plan, but do the action step and do the work and take the opportunities, take the risks to make that dream a reality, because you have the power within you to be, to see, to become whatever you want to become. And you have the power inside yourself to heal yourself. And I don't mean you have to do away with doctors. Doctors are necessary when you need them. Yet when a doctor gives you a medication and in your knowings, that's wrong, check back with them. Look at alternative healing, because you have the power within yourself to do whatever you want to do on this planet while you're here.
It's a great message. It's a great reminder too. Melissa, you are all about your brand is Dream by Design. So I wrote this even before I knew you. But how is this to serve you well, to know that you have the power to make your wildest dream a reality?
Well, you are correct. This is to my core. But let me just tell you, I didn't always believe that I could dream. I went through a very difficult time, a difficult marriage. We've heard all about that. Was on a job that I thought I was headed down a different direction. And that job went away in a twinkling. But that moment that I had my defining moment that said that I would start a business, which that had never dropped in my mind, to know that was also the moment that I was able to dream. And once I was able to dream, everything changed about me. Everything, my thought process, what I felt, how I talked, how I looked at life, everything changed when I had that moment that changed my life. It told me that, you know what? You never thought about dreaming, but I have a plan for you. And that plan for you is that you will own your own business. As I developed, I also understood that there was a plan deeper than that. The thought that I controlled anything, let alone my life or my thoughts, that I had some power, never entered my spirit. But after that moment, as my life began to unfold, I realized, I decide if I'm happy today. I decide if I want to watch Gunsmoke on TV, or I can actually make those decisions for my life. And it all begins in my thought. And as long as I think that, as long as I know that I can go as far as I can think, it gets me through every single day. It gets me through the days that are very difficult. It got me through periods in my business that things just weren't working out in my mind. But because I had learned that I could dream, and when that dream doesn't work, I can dream another dream. That is a long process. That's a long dealing with yourself inside, because you know what? If one dream doesn't work, you don't have to sit down and waddle in and, dream another dream. And then I discovered I didn't have to limit it to what I could see. I could dream way beyond what I can see. And you know what? I still can't dream as big as God can dream for me. And that gets me through every single thing I face.
Yeah, what a great thing. I want to come back to that. And I want to say this, and I can speak for myself. I'm not trying to speak for anybody else. I was saying to Earl, which we all know Earl Hall today, still the scariest thing for me in my life. And this has been consistent for 25 years now. The scariest thing in my life is success. And it's a funny thing because again, and I'm going to bring Darius in here, but I think it's a conversation that needs to be had, that even because we all have heard that our dreams can scare us, that and then I literally experienced that for myself. So we're going to talk about that. But Darius, I want to ask you, first of all, welcome back. Hope you are doing well.
Yes,
But
yes.
what has it been like for you to realize that your wildest dream can be a reality?
Man, my grandmother taught me a scripture when I was growing up. I'm not gonna misquote it, but I think I'm gonna be pretty dead on the mark. It said, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue,
Hmm.
and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof."
Mhm.
Um, a lot of us forget about the second part of that. We always say life and death in the power of the tongue, but you got to remember, whatever you put in you, you got to speak it. It got to come back out, whether it be positive or negative. So my grandmama always taught us to always feed into the negative of whatever the situation may be. She never taught us that if the glass is half full, then it's not half empty. But in essence, it's half empty too, if it's half full. And she just taught us to see the other side of things. And so dreaming, she was an educator. And she never wanted us to be an educator as she was, but she always would say, dream bigger than being an educator, or dream bigger than you can imagine. Dream big, and I just grabbed a hold to it as a young man, and I just took it and ran with it. And so as God began to deal with me in life, and as he began to show me things, and I'm about like you, and like every time he does, I'm just like, golly, like this prayer stuff, like really, it really worked when you mean what you say and say what you mean. And so it's just a wow moment. So she just instilled that in me as a little boy, like, look, dream big, dream beyond, and think, overthink sometimes. Dream big though. I was like, yes, 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 yes.
Darius, I'm going to stay with you for a second because I just literally thought of something as you were talking. But I want to first say, for those who are just tuning in, you're watching Words I Choose to Live By or listening to it on iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by Darius Ewing, Melissa Baines, and Mary Ellen Taganovich. We're discussing week number 22 from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. You all see it there, which is all about you have the power. That is the theme for this week, and that's what we're discussing. But you just said something, Darius, that made me think about something else. And so I'm not going to talk about what I said I was going to come back to, and that is about the fear, because you bring up an interesting thing. Because part of the reason why it works is because we do the work. We have the faith, but then we do our part in making the success happen. So I want to ask you about preparation, because there are people out there that are watching us, listening to us, that may be saying what they want. How important has it been for you? I'll say this personally to everybody, to prepare for what you want.
Oh man, if you don't failing to prepare is, it's preparing to fail. Always, it's in for anything in life. We have to stop applying that to just certain things. But anything and everything in life, if you're gonna do it, do it. Go all in and do it. And to prepare for it is the key. Not only to prepare, but to ask God to, and praying, when you're praying and asking for it, ask God to prepare you for what you're about to receive. So you'll be in that mindset, because sometimes we'll forget and we'll get in it and try to prepare while we're in. Now you're a dead duck. You can't do that.
Yeah, great
So
point. Melissa,
preparation
what
is
about for you?
always key.
Yeah. Melissa, what about for you? I mean, you've been able to build a business and a brand. You had the faith. How important was it for you to prepare for what you prayed for?
Well, first of all, faith without work is dead, right? So
Right.
if you say you have faith in God and you believe in his promises, then that's also a commitment to work. What I discovered is the more I dreamed, the bigger I dreamed, the harder I worked. I believe you have to know where you're going. One of the things I say, and I say even in my book, is the reason successful people are successful is because they know where they're going. They don't just get up and wonder, what am I going to do today? They get up with a plan, and then they put that plan into action. It's the action that propels everything. It propels the faith. Your faith, it propels your business. It propels everything. So nothing happens without action. In order to have action, you got to have a plan, or you're going to be like a person in the middle of a sea drowning and fighting to get up because you don't know where you're going. You don't know what to do. So one of the biggest things I learned years ago, and I continue to do, is I make lists. I'm one of those people that have to get up with an action plan. That action plan, that list gives me a direction. Without that list, I'm kind of wandering all over the place, and then you're not making moves. If you want to have big dreams, you want to see big dreams happen, then you got to know where you're going and how you're going to get there.
Great point. Mary Ellen, what about for you? Even before you're doing this show today, you've already been working. You had your miracle moment with Mary Ellen today. So you're putting in the work. But how important has that been for you, that correlation between having faith and believing, but realizing your part in making it happen?
We have to have faith and not only believe, but you have to know that you can achieve whatever. And I was doing a miracles with Mary Ellen this morning, was on the miracle of prayer. And I was saying, you have to be careful what you pray for, because God gives you everything you ask for exactly like you asked for it. So you have to be careful to ask the right way. And I was giving examples of, let's say you get up and you pray for a good day. Let's say you want opportunities, and God gives you a day of 72 degrees and sunshine and no wind. To God, that's a good day. That wasn't what you meant when you prayed for a good day. You wanted opportunities. You wanted progress. So I'm like Melissa. I make a list every night before I go to bed, and I'll have things that I'm going to accomplish today. And I prepare days in advance. I have truths of the day written now through November. I constantly prepare and constantly do steps to promote what I know God wants me to do while I'm here on this planet.
Yeah, it's a great reminder for all of our audience. I want to go ahead and say real quick, for those who are joining us on Amazon Live, we appreciate you guys over there. Thank you so much for that. If you'll notice, as each one of our co-hosts are speaking, their books are being highlighted. Right now, we have Mary Ellen front and center, so you guys see her book, Truth, highlighted there. Also, though, we do have Melissa Banks' book there, Dream by Design, the devotional, so you'll see it when she's talking, as well as a book, Note to Self, by Darius Ewing. You'll notice his book is there. Feel free to click on those books. You can be able to buy them as you're watching us. It will not take you away from us. You can be able to buy them while you're watching us to be able to have their books, and we're going to remind you of that a little bit later. So we're going to go back around now. Melissa, starting with you, what would you say to our audience then about the importance of realizing they have the power, but what they have to do to make it a reality?
I would say that your only limit is you. You have the power to go as far as you can think, as far as you can dream, as far as you're willing to do the work. We talked a whole lot about faith. We talked a lot about dreaming, and we also talked about the work. So you limit yourself. When you decide, oh, I don't want to do the work, then you are not going to reach those dreams. But know that every single thing you need, God has already placed it inside of you. You have to activate it, and it's up to you. The possibilities are limitless. They're beyond what you can imagine. But guess what? You can imagine way beyond what you on your own can do. So believe that you have the power to activate it. You have the power to make it happen. You have the power to dream big and then dream bigger.
Love that. Darius, what about for you? What would you say to our audience about the importance of realizing that they have the power, but the work that's involved in it?
Oh man, always remember from the beginning, from the moment you were created with the power. Tap into that and know that number one, that all things work together for the good of them and those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. And if you know your purpose and you know your calling and you're in the right steps, that's half of the battle. Now, let's get to the business side of it. You're gonna have to plan, you're gonna have to prepare, you're gonna have to activate, and then you'll start to see the success. But it's gonna take work. It's not gonna come overnight, and you got to stick with it.
Exactly. So true. Mary Ellen, what about for yourself? What would you say to our audience to remind them that they have the power, but the work that's involved?
Well, you have so much power inside yourself. And like I say, connect with your knowings. Get out of your beliefs. Your beliefs are in line with your ego, and that includes a doubt. And you want to get out of those doubts and get into your knowings, which is your truth, and use that power within yourself. I always tell people, if you want to change your life, change your thoughts. But you just can't sit there and think about it. You have to make a plan. You have to have it in line with your purpose. You have to take action steps to make this power within yourself come out and go forward. You just can't sit there because people say, well, I'm thinking about it. Well, get up and do it. Come up and grab onto it. And if it's not in alignment with your passion, then, and you start, and God might lead you to another part that is in alignment with your passion. And you say, oh, that is it. That's right. But you have to begin. You have to get up and start and use that power of your knowings within yourself.
Such a great point. And I think, for all of us here, as we are kind of going through this, I think the thing that I want our audience to really take away is that it is possible. And I think, for myself, I tell people I'm just a country boy from Mississippi. Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. And if I can do the things that I can do, it is something definitely that each one of us could do. But it all begins, first of all, with that faith and being able then to work in accordance with that for sure. Again, message number 22 from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, available right here on Amazon. You guys can get it in paperback, in a hardcover, as well as the Kindle edition. Mary Ellen, how can they stay connected with you, my friend?
Well, through my website, which is askmaryellen.com. The Miracles with Mary Ellen segment should already be posted on there with all my blogs that I have on there. Quick connections over to Amazon to Healing Words, Life Lessons to Inspire, or Truth, Taking Responsibility Unleashes True Healing. Both are on sale right now for the holiday season, and also because I'm going to have another book coming out soon.
Exactly. Melissa, how can they stay connected with you?
Well, it's really easy to follow us. You simply go to themelissabanks.com and you can find all of our links, how to get our books. You can listen to some of the Dream by Design with Melissa Banks episodes. Right now, we're having a series called Women Who Write. It's an amazing journey of so many women authors. So please take a moment and go listen. That's themelissabanks.com.
Very good. And Darius, how can they stay connected with you?
Man, right now you can stay connected with me on social media: Facebook, Darius Ewing, Darius L. Ewing, Instagram, Mr. Ewing 1914, and on Twitter, D Ewing 1914. Web page is coming November the 1st.
All right. So it gives us something to look forward to. Thanks to all of you again for another great show. It's always a pleasure to have you all with us. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in on Amazon Live and the other platforms for this week's episode of Words I Choose to Live By. Until next time, you all make it a great one, and we'll see and talk to you soon. Take care.